The Chanel Spring-Summer 1992 Haute Couture show is notable for its striking designs and the impact it had on fashion during that period. Here are some key aspects of the show. 1. The collection was designed by Karl Lagerfeld, who was the creative director of Chanel at the time. Lagerfeld's tenure at Chanel was marked by a blend of modernity and classic Chanel elements. 2. The show was held in Paris and was known for its theatrical and opulent presentation. Chanel's haute couture shows often featured elaborate settings and dramatic backdrops, enhancing the overall experience. Three. The 1992 collection showcased Lagerfeld's ability to reinterpret Chanel's classic styles. It included elegant evening gowns, tailored suits, and the iconic Chanel tweed jackets. The collection featured luxurious fabrics, intricate detailing, and a sophisticated color palette. Four. Lagerfeld's designs for this show were characterized by a mix of modern and vintage elements. The collection included bold prints, elaborate embellishments, and a combination of structured and fluid silhouettes. Five. The 1992 Haute Couture show is remembered for its elegance and the way it showcased Lagerfeld's creative vision, while paying homage to Coco Chanel's iconic style. It reinforced Chanel's status as a leading fashion house in the haute couture world. Now, let's still talk more about the details as well. Chanel's renewed presence in the 90s was caused by the mastermind Karl Lagerfeld and his ingenious fashion designs, which catered to the new generation rather than the past. His most recognized and famous design, the 1992 black Chanel couture chain dress. This Chanel dress was released in Chanel's Spring-Summer collection of 1992, where Christy Turlington donned the ultimate Chanel cocktail attire. The dress features a simple black dress embedded and layered with gold chains and flowers. Modern Girls explains, the ensemble was not only a clever way of updating the classic little black dress that had been Chanel's claim to fame, but it was also a brilliant marketing move that drew focus to Chanel's costume jewelry, which at the time was the brand's most profitable product. Totally, Karl Lagerfeld shook up the codes of classic Chanel style in this haute couture collection. The Chanel jacket was presented in a glove-tight version with oversized buttons, which meant it had to zip up at the back. When buttons are so big, you can't button up such a tight jacket, the designer told Vogue, and I wanted the silhouette to be very tight and very clean, with long skirts that reveal quite a lot of leg. The silhouette was diabolically body-conscious with skirts that all fell below the knee and came out in tight, slit, zipped and even ripped variants. The latter, shredded chiffon or organza skirts with uneven hems, was dubbed the destroyed skirt by Lagerfeld, and was inspired by one of his favorite books, Pleasure of Ruins. The traditional Chanel fabrics were also reinvented, with jackets made in brightly colored sequins and raffia made to look like tweed, and trimmed with braided leather. Leather lace in the words of Lagerfeld. Leather replaced the classic Chanel gold chain in the collection, which featured a multitude of leather tassels and even high-waisted leather jeans. Pearls also disappeared from the catwalk, replaced with colored glass beads, while dramatic, cloud-like hats and sky-high cork platform shoes with gladiator laces offset the strict silhouette. But that was just one standout piece in a collection filled to the brim with classic Lagerfeld Chanel-isms we know today. Think structured white gowns and little jackets puffed with black taffeta, black and white cocktail dresses covered in costume jewelry, exacting tailored blazers and wide brim hats. Gold jeweled buttons on suit jackets, little gloves, low-slung chain belts, and logos galore. Spring 1992 was very much a haute couture show, but the dynamic accessories, styling, and casting allowed for mass appeal beyond the very narrow world of Paris couture. This was a collection that cemented Lagerfeld's eye for breaking tradition. Looking back at Chanel's 90s era, the 1992 collections feel particularly representative of Lagerfeld's bold new vision. There's a reason why collectors obsess over this specific period, after all. One could argue the spring 1992 couture collection was one of the most prolific moments of Lagerfeld's career, when the designer asserted his voice and vision as Chanel's future legacy. Lagerfeld was intimately familiar with the Chanel style, and he really knew how to deconstruct it so it would be signature Chanel but look innovative and modern, the fashion historian Einav Rabinovich-Fox says. He combined the classic Chanel style with street styles and denim that appealed to younger audiences and made it relevant to them, which is another reason why his designs are so popular, because they are timeless and contemporary at the same time. Claudia Schiffer closed the Haute Couture show in 1992 as the bride, wearing an epic veil and front zip gown with a bustier structure and blossoming skirt. Karl wasn't nostalgic, Valencia adds. He hated reminiscing about the past. His work was imbued with his own obsessions of the now. So Karl Lagerfeld's influence on Chanel's haute couture was transformative, bringing a modern and bold twist to the brand's classic elements. He aimed for a clean and tight silhouette with skirts that, while falling below the knee, revealed a significant amount of leg through various details like slits, zips, and even shredded hems. The usual pearls were swapped for colored glass beads, and the runway featured dramatic, cloud-like hats and sky-high cork platform shoes that contrasted with the strict silhouettes. Through these bold and creative choices, Lagerfeld ensured Chanel's relevance to a new generation while honoring the brand's legacy. This couture show remains a significant part of Chanel's fashion history, reflecting both the brand's heritage and Lagerfeld's innovative approach to design.